U-GeekTV.
Smile 2 isn't the best horror movie I've seen this year. That distinct honor still goes to Alien Romulus. However, I believe Smile 2 may have, when you really think about it, the most disturbing antagonist and monster I've seen in quite some time. Let's get into it.
Hello?
Sky!
What?
No, 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 get away from me!
What? What is
Get
it?
away from me!
Louis?
Welcome back to U-GeekTV. I am your host, Jarius Unapologetic Geek, and I am back with another unapologetic review. This time we're talking about Smile 2. And oh boy, like always, on the front end, I'm going to give a spoiler-free review, and on the back end, pause. I'm going to talk a little bit about like some things that honestly you got to spoil to really get into, but it's more so about the story that unfolds, particularly with the antagonist and just how things played out. Like this film went crazy. So the original Smile was, it was a pretty good film. I enjoyed like the concept of what the demon in the movie is basically trauma, and he plays out the trauma of his victims and honestly makes them suffer up until he takes them out. And normally that looks like somebody unaliving themselves, trying to stay within YouTube's guidelines and their algorithm and all that. It plays off them unaliving themselves and somebody experiencing the trauma of seeing them unalive themselves. And then they go into this whole thing where they got to pass the curse off before they end up unaliving themselves. And you just really traumatize somebody by unaliving somebody else. At least that's how I understood it. At least that's how I guess they tried to explain it in the previous movie and here. But anyways, a lot of great stuff happens. Naomi Scott, she's awesome. She's the main character of the film. She plays a pop star and she can actually sing. Like, think about it, Aladdin. She did all those numbers herself. So she's convincing as this pop star who's on this descent into madness. And honestly, this pop star is also a very unlikable person. I kept calling her this pop star because I was trying to buy myself time to remember what her name was. It's Sky. And I knew that was her name, but I was unsure of myself. So this is to tell you, go with your first mind. You're right. Anyways, Sky is a bit of an asshole. She really is mean to her mom and to really everybody that's in her life. She's done some messed up shit in the past, and she's kind of bouncing back from it. And there lies one of the biggest developments here. Like there's already trauma within this character, and she's gonna be faced with a demon that plays on trauma, and they live up to that concept. They really deliver on that. I'm not big on jump scares, but there are some decent ones here. But I'm really big on like disturbing and creepy ass scenes, and they got plenty of those. There's one like early in the film where you see Sky do choreography with her background dancers and everything, and they come back and they play into that in another scene. That's really creepy. The demon itself, whenever it appears, it's always some creepy shit going on, even beyond just that disturbing smile that you see. There are a lot of things that happen in this film that honestly, kind of stay with you. It's not super scary, but it's highly disturbing, and I appreciate it for that in a weird way. So before I get into spoilers, I'm going to just go ahead and give the verdict. Smile 2 is an unapologetically legit film. It is a 4 out of 5. I believe it went on maybe a little bit too long, but it has so much going for it in terms of expanding the lore of Smile and the whole Smileverse or whatever. And yeah, man, I enjoyed the story that it told. Like it got really close to being a 5 out of 5, but It's a 4, and the 4 is not bad. So getting into spoilers, the main thing I want to talk about is really where this film takes us. So Sky, again, being a horrible person and just being terrible to everybody that she comes across, she is traumatized and haunted by this demon after seeing well, I don't know if he was more of a pusher, like giving her the drugs, or he was a friend. I don't know. I mean, he witnessed some shit earlier in the film. The curse jumped on him, and then he killed himself in front of Sky, and then the curse jumped on her. And she really didn't have that much of a support system because of how she was. And the way this demon plays on her is something to behold. But the biggest twist in all of this, and everybody who's seen this, and if you're still here, you already know where I'm going with this, is maybe for about half of the film, you find out that Scott was not in control, that the demon was honestly um, living on her behalf, still torturing her internally, but on the outside, the demon had been carrying on her life. Sky has a concert that's huge that's coming up, it's sold out. And the demon has been going to rehearsals, has been meeting Sky's obligations, and like in appearances and all that kind of stuff. He's been doing everything Sky is supposed to do, and she's just trapped in her mind, thinking that she's battling this demon, and everybody on the outside is seeing it. But in all honesty, she's behaving normally, and internally, she's been trapped with this demon. That's fucked up, and it begs the question: how powerful is the smile demon? Because there's somebody in this film who meets her and offers to help her kill the smile demon, and honestly kind of explains it a little bit, which when you think about it is the demon explaining what it is to Sky. This is crazy ass storytelling. And so the demon or this guy tells her, look, you need to basically die and resuscitate yourself or be resuscitated. And the demon will have nobody to jump into, nobody to be traumatized, and that's it. And it does all this, it gives her a false sense of hope. And that's so sinister when you think about it, man. Like, that's fucked up. This demon has haunted her for the entire film. And you find out that she's the only one dealing with it. She is truly alone in her trauma. Nobody is there to help her. And the demon, the thing that's traumatizing her the most, is it's just pushing through with her life like nothing is going, or making her feel like everything is falling apart when really nothing different is going on the outside. And the demon knows what her traumas are. It knows her fears, it knows her concerns, her insecurities, and all that, and it plays into it. You find out she survived this horrible car accident that she caused with her boyfriend. She put her hands on the wheel, and both of them ride off a cliff. He dies, and she stays alive. The demon plays off of this. It's This sequel is one of the better sequels I've seen in a while, because it takes everything from the first film and enhances it in this film, and it's genuinely unsettling, and I appreciated it. But the biggest part of all of this, like, you find out, these details that the demon has been playing Sky or has taken over her life, or again about half of the movie, if not more than that. It allows Sky to have control again, because the ritual is it tortures you for like 4 or 5 days or something like that, and then finally it breaks your mind, possesses you, and then traumatizes somebody else by making you unalive yourself in front of them. It gives her control at the concert, and she's the only one who can see the demon. And in disturbing fashion, the demon comes out of, well, Sky is looking at herself essentially. It comes out of her body and then opens her mouth to an unreasonable degree and dives in and takes possession. And the first thing it does is it takes a microphone and it bashes her head in front of everybody. Now, thousands of people will assumedly have this curse. And if not everybody, it's going to be more than one. the demon has essentially become more powerful than it's ever been, and it's spreading like a virus at this point. That is a genius way to end this film. And I wonder where they're going to go with it, because I believe Smile 2 has done enough to earn another sequel. And I want to see how far they take this. Like, this is also Final Destination shit at this point. But the reveal that the demon is also like a cosmic entity feeding into the Cthulhu and other H.P. Lovecraft creatures also is a great touch to me, man. Like, I love this film. It's still not a 5 out of 5, but I really loved it. I really enjoyed it, and I'm ready to unpack it again on a rewatch. Smile 2 is highly recommended. Like, seriously, see that shit. Especially if you like psychological horror or cosmic horror, see it. See if you've made it this far, assuming that you haven't seen it already. And if you have, maybe I made you think about something that you didn't consider at first. Go watch it again. I sure am. So, Smile 2, have you seen it? Let me know what you think in the comments. Continue to like, continue to share, continue to subscribe. And until next time, I'm Jarius, Unapologetic Geek. Thank you for watching, and I am out.